So, hi, I'm Quinn, and this is Open Awareness Yoga. And today we're doing Yin Yoga, focusing on the inner thighs. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get started in a pose, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about what the difference is between Yin Yoga and Restorative Yoga, because it's a question I get a lot. So we're taking Supta Baddha Konasana, or supine butterfly pose. So if you've got knees that sometimes give you some pain, make sure you have 2 cushions close by or some other comfortable support. And then you'll lay down on your back with your knees bent, your feet on the floor. And then bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees fall open wide. And there might be any number of reasons why this feels like too much for today. And if you feel like a little bit more support, then grab your blankets or your pillows and just place them underneath your thighs so that you've got a little bit of props supporting you up. And then you might choose to put your hands somewhere on your body or just along the side of the body with the palms face up. And check in with your low back. If your low back feels crunched up, you might lift up your buttocks, scoot it towards your heels, and then place it back down on the ground. And if you feel like more heart opening, more opening across your chest, you might bring your arms out to a T or goalpost arms, or even bring them overhead, grabbing opposite elbows. And we'll be holding this pose for about 3 more minutes. And if that becomes too much for you for any reason, just slowly come out of it and rest in a Shavasana. We'll all join you at the end of this shape. Just settle in. So the difference between Yin Yoga and Restorative Yoga. Technically, or typically rather, Restorative Yoga is meant to be completely supported. So there's not too much intensity in the sensations that you're feeling when you're holding a restorative pose. And with Yin Yoga, there may well be discomfort. Because what we're doing as we hold the pose for so long, typically around 5 minutes, is giving our body time for the muscles to relax and release, and for the stress of the shape to enter the connective tissues. And the connective tissues surround the muscles, they move within the muscles. In fact, if all of your other tissue in the body were to disappear, you would still be a 3-dimensional matrix of yourself made of connective tissue. And it's thought that the lines of energy that run through the body, called the energy meridians in traditional Chinese medicine, may run through this deep connective tissue. And all yoga works with the energy body as well as the physical body. But Yin Yoga especially focuses on the movement of energy. And you might think of this as not only physical energy moving through the body, like a muscle releasing and then feeling that stretch shift to a different place, but also emotional energy and thought energy. And we all have certain emotions or thoughts that we might at times try to just block and stop. It's just a coping mechanism, and it's fair, it's okay. Well, that's why we need practices like yoga to give our bodies time to open so that those emotions and thoughts that originated but didn't pass through have a chance to move, process, and release. And just about 30 more seconds here. And scan your body for the last moments you spend in this shape. And if possible, adopt a non-judgmental, observant attitude. So that you just see and feel without analyzing or labeling as good or bad or needing change. Take a deep breath in. Let it out through your mouth. And bring your arms down underneath your legs. And use the strength of the arms to help guide the knees together. You might feel achy, that's normal. Toe heel the feet wider than the hips and let your knees knock in towards center. Or maybe you choose to straighten your legs like in a shavasana. And then come to a rest for a few moments. And of course, the shape that we're making is complete, but the sensation of the shape isn't over. Can you feel how your body is responding now that it is resting? You might choose to stay still for another few moments, or if your body's asking for some movement, perhaps open the knees, feet still wider than the hips, and then slowly let the knees rock both to the right and then both to the left, windshield wipering the legs a little bit. Move slowly during your yin yoga practice because we do increase our flexibility through the connective tissue. We don't want to give ourselves any spinal adjustments or bone adjustments that would cause pain later. Okay. From here, roll to one side and twice as slowly as feels normal, sit yourself up. And then stretch the legs out in front of you. You might bounce through the knees a few times. We're going to come back into a butterfly pose, but this time seated. If your knees need a little break from flexion, instead just take a straddle. We'll do both of these poses, so you choose which order you'd like to do them in. Either feet together, knees apart, or legs spread wide. One thing that could be comfortable here for you, especially if you feel discomfort in your low back, is to sit up on a blanket or a pillow, just placing something underneath your buttocks. And so choose your leg position. Again, with butterfly, you might choose to stack something underneath your legs. And we have another couple options. So to start, you might grow your spine long, close your eyes, and assume a bit of a meditative posture. Allow your breath to come and go naturally. And feel the weight of your bones as the muscles release their grip, as everything softens. And you might choose to stay upright just like this, or you might hinge at your hips and bring your fingertips in front of you and crawl into a forward fold. It doesn't matter how far you go. No matter where you are, soften your shoulders down away from the ears. And feel a broadness across your upper back and your chest. You might shake your head no. And experiment with hanging the head heavy or keeping it long in line with the rest of the spine. And soften your belly. And know that this isn't about doing the pose right. It's just about getting the body in what might be a novel shape. Feeling some sensation. Letting the breath come naturally. And watching your experience non-judgmentally as physical sensations, thoughts, and emotions rise and fall. By my watch, we'll be here for about 2 more minutes. But always take the breaks that you need and the rest that you need so that you're not on someone else's agenda or working with your idea of what should be right or should be practiced. That you are responding to your actual body and your actual needs in this moment. You might notice as you spend time in this shape, your body opens and you take up that space. Last 30 seconds here. And if you're leaning forward, very slowly, twice as slow, sit yourself up. If your knees are bent, place your hands underneath your knees and draw them together, then straighten them out. If your legs are straight, you'll also place your hands underneath your knees and bend your knees, drawing them together. Maybe close the eyes wherever you are. You can lean back and rest on your hands. You can make it very lazy and what might look like non-yogic. That's not truly the case. And again, just notice how the body feels after it's out of that place that you chose to be in for an extended period of time. And then if your body needs some movement, just do so very gently and slowly. Trust your intuition. And then as you're ready, you'll find that second shape. So the one that you didn't do, either butterfly legs or straddle. And then again, we'll start upright. So place the fingertips on the floor behind you. Use your arms to help lengthen your spine. Feel the weight of your hips and your legs dropping down. Feel your shoulders relaxing and the shoulder blades sliding down the back. And you may choose to stay upright or hinging at your hips, folding forward. And just 30 to 70% of sensation of like doing the pose full out, just 30 to 70% is perfect for a yin yoga practice because you're here for so long. I like to think of it as putting my body in a shape and then imagining if I just like lost consciousness in that shape and everything just fell down to the earth. And there I am breathing and observing with no expectations, no goals. Just being still on the earth. Notice what your awareness is on right now. Just take a snapshot. Were you working through a train of thought? Or were you embroiled in emotion unraveling? Maybe there's an area of your body that has gathered your attention to it. I invite you to give your body a scan and notice an area that isn't feeling much of anything. And then as you bring your awareness to that spot, notice that in fact there is sensation there. And can you light up your entire body and your awareness? And does that practice change your experience of the shape? Does it change your experience of this moment in your life? Just about 30 more seconds here. And if you are folding forward, super extra slowly, set yourself up. And then either bring your hands underneath your knees and draw your knees together, or bring them underneath your knees and bend your knees. If you were in butterfly, straighten your knees for a second. If you were in a straddle pose, you might leave the knees bent. You may lean back. Close your eyes and observe the body again. And this practice is cumulative. You might start really just restless. Well, now we're 21, 22 minutes in. Maybe there's been some peace. Maybe not yet. And just observe. So we'll come to laying back on the back. If you'd like to use a pillow underneath your head, you can do that. Knees bent, feet on the floor. And just rest here. Let the spine release down. The shoulders melt. And for our final pose, we'll take Happy Baby. So here, let's pull the knees into your chest and split them apart so that the tops of the thighs move towards your side waists. You might take a few breaths just with your knees into the chest like this. And when you're ready, bring the soles of your feet to the sky and either hold on to the backs of your thighs, or maybe you want to grab somewhere on the shin, or maybe all the way up to the pinky side of the foot. And then let the knees fall down towards the ground on either side of your torso. By all means, you can move, rocking side to side here. But we will be here for about 4 more minutes. And if you haven't done this before, Happy Baby in a yin class with that long hold, you'll really feel the difference between yin and other styles of yoga. And just remember, you can always back out, and you can always take a break, and you can always finish the pose whenever your body is telling you it's ready for that. Here, it's easy to hold tension in the shoulders because we're using the arm. So consciously scan the back of the head, neck and shoulders, and ask for those bones to be as heavy as they are. And breathe naturally. Try to let go of all muscular engagement. So let go of any rules, that you may be following, any shoulds. And just breathe. You've been here a few minutes already. You may choose to stick with what you're doing. Maybe you pull your heels in towards the groin and keep the knees wide. Grab your feet. Change the shape a little bit. And check back in with the head, neck, and shoulders. And give those friends permission to relax. But they don't have to if they don't want to. They're not ready yet. Take a deep breath in. Let it out through your mouth. And bring your arms around the outer legs and pull them together. Hug them in as tightly as you'd like. And then one leg at a time, release the feet to the floor. And you can take your Shavasana with the knees bent, or maybe you straighten the legs out long. If your legs are straight, bring your heels a little wider than the hips. Then tuck your shoulder blades underneath you and let the palms roll face up to the sky. Make any adjustments you need for comfort. And then let the muscles fall away from the bones. The full weight of your body release down into the support of the earth. Now you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. We've arrived at the 30-minute mark. And if you're ready to rejoin your day, Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. And roll over onto one side into the fetal position. And rest there. Turn your chest down towards the ground. Press into your top arm to sit yourself up very slowly. And come to seated in any comfortable position with your palms on your lap. You've been upright in this practice before. What's different, if anything, about this time? Now touch your palms together in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in to feel your chest fill with air and rise. Keep it lifted as you exhale. Bow your chin to your chest. And from this space, I thank you for practicing with me. And I thank the teachers and students who have come before us, and the ancient rishis, the seers in South Asia, that passed this practice of yoga down to us through thousands of years, so that we may feel and heal and serve others. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.